So now we're going to move on to Eric Spicely versus Markus Perez at 185 pounds. Eric Spicely, he's an American. He's 12-5. He's 6 feet 2 inches tall. He's 33 years old, and he's 2-5 in the UFC, not including his time on the Ultimate Fighter House, where he ultimately went 2-1, I believe it was. Then he's going against Markus Perez. Markus Perez is a Brazilian. He's 12-3. He's 30 years old. He's 6 feet 1 inches tall. He's 2-3 inside of the UFC, not including his submission loss to get into the Tough Brazil house. He has 2 submission wins in the UFC over Anthony Hernandez and James Boknovic. So he's pretty experienced. Tell me what you think about these guys.
It's like I was trying to get there, before about interesting fights. But let's talk about that. I think this one's going to be a well matched up fight.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at 2 guys who are pretty experienced on the ground. One of them has a BJJ brown belt in Perez.
Yes.
And Spicely is a BJJ black belt.
Yep.
So the ground game is going to be close because like we just said it in the last fight, there's levels. Is that brown belt equal to the black belt, or is the black belt actually a black belt?
Yeah.
And
it depends on who it came from. It depends on a lot of things.
Lineage matters in BJJ a little bit, I think.
And so we'd have to look into that a little bit more to see what happens there. But also, there's just some guys who are really good that just haven't put the years into it enough to get that black belt. But like we talked about the fact that he has the 2 submission wins. Talking about Markus Perez,
both of his UFC
wins are by submissions. So he's comfortable on the ground. He's also a black brigade in Muay Thai.
Yep.
So that's similar to a black belt. I might have pronounced that wrong, but whatever. It's similar to a black belt.
Think black belt in Muay Thai.
Black belt in Muay Thai. He's the former LFA middleweight champion. He's the former Thunder Fight middleweight champion. So he's got some belts under his name. But when he's fighting Eric Spicely, including his time on The Ultimate Fighter, he's got 7 submissions. He has 4 knockouts and he has 3 decisions. He also has a notable submission win over Thiago Santos back in 2017. So he's pretty good. He's not the worst. His record might not reflect it, but he's got some good wins on there and he's got some good skills.
Yeah.
So what else do you think about these guys?
I think did we talk about that this is his second stint, Spicely's second stint in the UFC?
You're right. This is his second stint. In his first stint, he went 2-4, and he was cut from the UFC.
After 3 straight losses.
After 3 straight losses. He went out and he fought at another promotion.
It was CES MMA.
And he knocked 2 guys out in the first round.
Yep.
He got that opportunity. He got brought back into the UFC. And then in the UFC, he fought... who was it that he fought in his next one? It was Wellington. Was it? Oh, no, that's Marcus.
That was Marcus. Marcus' last fight was Wellington. But Spicely, his last fight was to Darren Wynn.
Yeah.
That was a fight of the night right there.
Yeah.
They won fight of the night for that fight. It was fun, back and forth. Wynn looked like the better grappler, though. It was really weird.
Well, Darren Wynn is the better grappler. He's a national champion grappler.
Yeah.
But the weird thing to me was the height difference there.
Wynn's short.
Wynn is short, but he was able to land some good, effective striking in there.
Oh, yeah. He looked better on the feet, too.
From the get-go, from the first round. But it was still a super exciting fight. Ultimately, though, Spicely was just a little bit behind. He was a little bit slower.
He was slower.
And he was a little bit more loopy with his punches. And I think that's going to end up being the difference in this fight here. Markus Perez, he's good with his Muay Thai, but if you look at it, it's a lot more blitzing. He kind of rushes forward at you a little bit. It's not that traditional stand-up, stand-tall style, and he just kind of lets it go, And it's fun to watch. I don't know if it's technical enough to knock out Spicely or not, but what I do think is going to happen, I think Markus Perez is going to end up outworking him, and he's going to take home a decision.
So you got 3 straight decisions to start the night?
I got 3 straight decisions. I just don't see anybody getting finished in these ones.
See, I think Spicely's getting knocked out.
I
think he's getting knocked out in the second round.
We'll see what happens there. So, that's interesting. We still have the same fighter, but once again, we're starting to change things up a little bit. Well, the bonus points are going to be the problem here.